All right. Hello, everyone. Looks like I'm live. Welcome. Glad to be here with you all. Um, yeah, today we're doing my solo political and current event questions. So if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, go ahead and write them in all caps in the chat with a couple heart emojis, and I'll get to as many as possible. Just some announcements, real quick. We're working on getting 15,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. Help me to reach that goal here soon. I would appreciate that. Um, some shows in the coming up. I will be on Mel Dora's channel this Thursday. So more opportunities for political and current event readings. Next Monday, um, June 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be doing my members live, and we're doing our healing Reiki circle and prayer circle. Anybody interested in that, it is $10 a month, but we offer 2 live streams and yep, prayers and all of the intentions added to the crystal grid. You can kind of see it behind me. And we also do a giveaway for a member once a month. So we'd love to have you if you're interested. Um, you can find the link in the description box of this video. And then Susan will be on next Wednesday. And I do have some openings for readings and Reiki or a combination of both in June. So if you're interested in getting a session with me, you can go to my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. I'll show you all my offerings, my availability, and you can book online. Thank you, Ness. All right, everyone, let's get started to some of your questions today. I caught a little bit on the news earlier, but let's see. Got a couple questions started. Okay. I just want to say too, if you've been following me for a while, we haven't talked about the border in a while. But if you've been following me, I did say I felt Biden would do an executive action on the border. It's in my 2024 predictions. But as I'm kind of focusing in on that, I almost feel like, surprisingly enough, before the election, that we'll get some kind of bipartisan immigration reform. Doesn't feel like it's like everything. It kind of feels like it's a bit of a smaller package, but I do feel something getting done as a result of um, his executive action. So I just wanted to share that. But if you've been following me, that came through really strongly. Um, all right. We can look more at that if anybody has a specific question. A lot of people are fearful with what's going on. It's so important just to try our best to stay grounded. You know, um, because the Republicans, Trump, they're in a state of fear, so they're going to do anything to kind of get to be as extreme as possible to to try their best to hang on to power. So everybody just hang in there. Um, it's uncomfortable for us, but really they're doing their own purpose, what they're meant to be doing. It's really to bring awareness to a lot of faults in our democracy and our governments. So they're exposing um, a lot of those weaknesses, and ultimately, we're going to build a stronger foundation for our government. So I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but um, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get these necessary changes in. But don't allow what's going on to bring down you energetically or get you in a place where you're all pissed off or fearful, because it's really only affecting you. Let's rise above that. Let's all come together and support one another, and speak our truth and fight for what we believe in. But don't allow it to take power over you. It's so important right now. All right, let's take a look at Hunter Biden. All right. Yes, breathe. We need to breathe. We're going to get through this. Thank you, Hilda. All right. So I don't feel jail time for Hunter Biden. Um, I almost feel like with these gun charges, I don't know if there's some kind of deal that can be made, or I don't feel jail time as a result if he's found guilty. I actually feel like he may have some more problems, but more so with the taxes, the tax case. But we'll throw on Hunter. I see him being okay. I don't see jail for him though. All right, what's going on with Hunter? Okay. I see it being okay, but it is definitely a bit of a journey. He's got justice crossing him right now, which can be the legal challenges, and he's going to push through. He's going to be a bit tired. It's a bit of a journey, but he's victorious in the end. It's kind of a long, drawn out process. You know, he did some things in the past that were a bit foolish, naive, but I do feel like a lot of these charges, all of it it's underhandedness from some of the agents. It's because president no, he's not president anymore, because Trump was investigated. This is kind of like Republicans coming in to investigate Biden. It's a Republican narrative. The government stepping in, but I see his uh, wishes being fulfilled in the end. But it's a bit of a fight. I'm not feeling jail with it, but I kind of feel like it's between this and the taxes. It's kind of like a long, drawn out battle. Yeah, it's like the prosecutors were, whoever brought on the case, it was like a Republican, and it was because they wouldn't have brought the case if it wasn't the fact that he was the president's son. But I almost feel like the jury not finding him guilty, or if he is found guilty, jail time isn't a punishment, or they're able to kind of come to terms with some other kind of deal. I feel like he has more challenges with the tax case, and to me, I feel like he probably gets some probation with that, but I'm not feeling jail time for Hunter. I don't feel Mershon was surprised by the verdict. He's saying no. Oh, this is good. Let's look at the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. All right, sorry, you guys. Trying my best to keep up with the chat and do it all myself. So the jury is going, what the hell? This ain't worth $50 a day, right, Rose Blue? All right. I kind of feel with the ceasefire deal, I do see something coming through, but I kind of feel, I don't know if, I know that they're saying that Netanyahu's on board, but I almost feel like he may change his mind, or there's some kind of delay to this ceasefire deal. But I almost feel like Netanyahu's forced out. Yeah, he's coming on strong. And it's a bit of a fight still, I feel. But it doesn't feel like it's too much longer before they have some kind of deal. Yeah, I don't like this still, you guys. I feel like Netanyahu is still kind of pushing forward. He's not thinking things through. This is kind of like going into attack mode. He's got the devil, so there's still some nefarious actions taking place here. And I said when he was going into Rafah, I felt like there was some devastation kind of happening. And this feels like there's still some energy, there's some push there before the world kind of steps in. And I see Netanyahu leaving. This is a card of resignation, but there's some death that's happening with it, unfortunately. And this could be the ending of his career as well. I see a deal coming through, but I don't think they're going to take on it right now. I hope I'm wrong. Oh, I don't even remember this prediction. Thank you for the reminder, Christian. I try my best to stay on top of on top of some of the predictions, but when I do this kind of work, I don't retain a whole lot usually because I'm not using that logical part of the mind. It's more of that imaginary creative part. But he says that I predicted Claudia Steinbaum won the election of Mexico. Do you see her fighting the violence with help from El Salvador? I see her doing a very good job. You know, her energy does come across very strong, but fair too. I don't even know what kind of party she's in or her politics. I don't know a whole lot about their politics in Mexico. But I see her accomplishing a lot. She's very, very strong, and I get like a charismatic kind of energy to her. I feel like the people are going to really like her. I get a yes. Partnering with El Salvador and helping with the violence. I don't think it's going to be all fixed, but I feel like there's progress there, Christian. This is making a deal, coming to some kind of agreement. And I feel like her and Biden are going to work very well together too. A lot of momentum, a lot of plans in the work to kind of try to clear up some of the violence, and then the sun, which is success. So I feel like she's a very successful presidency. But I don't remember predicting that. But thank you for the validation. Yeah, I feel her being a good president. I agree with Mel. Yeah, we can take a little bit more look at the Biden's border deal, because like I said, if you just dropped in, I said I've been predicting for a while. I felt him doing some kind of executive action, but I still feel like there's some kind of border deal that's going to happen. To me, it almost feels like it's August or September. It's right before the election. It seems crazy anything would get passed in the House right now, but maybe it's because Democrats do a really good job at messaging and throwing it back on the Republicans for blowing up the last deal. So it's like they have to do something. Let's take a look. She's a liberal. Thank you, Cece. Yeah, she feels very smart. We got a while before we end the electoral college storm. It might be like 2032, sometime around there, like around 10 years out. All right. Will they be able to get a bipartisan border deal in law before the election? Yeah. It's a bit of negotiation. It's not what it's not the other deal. You have agreements coming in with the Two of Cups. There's a bit of negotiation coming in with it, with the Six of Pentacles. It's slow but gradual work, so it will get done. There are some challenges there, and it's kind of like going back to the drawing board, kind of brainstorming a little bit. But absolutely, this is victory, and it being a bit of a turning point. Like I said, I'm feeling like August, September. It feels like just before the election. Maybe when Jeffries becomes speaker. Because I don't see MAGA Mike Johnson bringing up a vote for immigration or the border. All right. Sacred Hag says, how will 45 denying he said lock her up play in the election? He thinks that we're like all stupid and we forget. I mean, it's a lot to kind of to remember all the craziness and all of the insane things that he's said and done. But I think most people remember him saying to lock up Hillary Clinton. I think it just continues to show. I honestly think he probably forgot that he even said it, to be honest with you. It feels like all of the stress from the legal challenges really affecting his health, and like he's really not all there. I mean, he hasn't been for a while, but I feel like it's getting significantly worse. I don't know if it's going to really play a whole lot into election, but it feels like it plays into the fact that he's on the cognitive decline. All right. Yes, that is very exciting. First female and Jewish president of Mexico. Future is female. Absolutely not. All right. Yeah, the news kept on showing all the times he said it. It's crazy. All right. Kathleen says, thank you for helping us stay calm. That's what I'm here for, Kathleen. Yeah, I'm in Ohio, in a very red area. All my neighbors have Trump flags. Do you see any signs of trouble in this area? I'm near Warren, Youngstown. Not too far from me. I'm up by Lake Erie, but on the east side, Kathleen. I'm in a pretty red district myself, in Lake County, Ohio. But I haven't. Every now and then you see one of the Trump trucks that are, have the flags going, and a couple houses with Trump signs and all that. But I really haven't seen a lot of Trump signs out here, which has kind of surprised me a little bit. Yes, we got 700 in the room. Thanks, everyone. Hit that thumbs up for me, please. I'm not really feeling any trouble in the area if you're thinking of, you know, protests or violence or anything like that in your area, Kathleen. I think people are pissed. You have the devil. So there's people that are mad. The death card, which is an ending of Trump. And I think people are slowly starting to wake up and to walk away. I mean, people might be upset about it, but I don't think people are going to risk, time in jail because of the January 6th. And I don't see another coup attempt. I think there will be some protests, and I feel like there's a couple small isolated incidents from people that are upset that, he's convicted now. And like I said, I feel like there's continued drama this summer before the election with Trump, but no, I don't see it turning into civil war or another coup attempt. So. Yeah, I have some Trumper neighbors too. I heard about that. Sweetie Darling Lily says, why is North Korea sending poop balloons to South Korea? Seems petty. I feel like because it's all about like being relevant with North Korea. Like, I mean, that story kind of stands out. They're sending shit in a balloon, across the border. So people are going to remember stories like that. It's kind of just like their way of staying relevant in the world. And, the immaturity aspect of it too, like kind of reminds me of like teens playing tricks or something like that. Doesn't feel like it's anything serious. It's just kind of immature. It's like a way, to me, it almost feels like, their way of trying to oppress South Korea, but I don't see it being anything really major, but I had heard about that. All right, you guys. What's the energy around SCOTUS and specifically Alito, Thomas, and Roberts? All right. I see continued investigations, more news coming out. I've said before, I feel like, and I don't know if this is an excuse Clarence uses because his wife's in trouble for the January 6th stuff. I feel like there's dark money influences being exposed for us, so we know who a lot of them are bought and paid for. But I feel like Clarence Thomas, there's some health issues there. To me, like I'm pulled to like the abdomen. Something not feeling quite right, like the liver or pancreas. And Roberts doesn't feel like he's in good health either. I see a lot coming out about the Supreme Court with, like I said, specifically dark money channels funding them before the election. And I feel like as a result, I feel like a lot of changes in the Supreme Court. I definitely feel Thomas is leaving. And I've said I feel like Roberts won't be in there too long either. But I see them continuing to kind of push the envelope and to make an ass out of themselves. It doesn't feel like with this New York case that Trump would be able to appeal it to the Supreme Court right away. It feels like there would be other actions, like appeals with other people first. But I feel like they would take the case just to further delay things or, to cause chaos with it. Let's see. Yeah, there's resignations coming in. Yeah, it's for taking money. It's kind of like we're watching and waiting for there to be some actions. There's review over the finances and people taking money that they shouldn't have. There's going to be sacrifices. This is a card of delays, though. It feels like it's kind of, there's some movement, pause in the energy, more movement. So it doesn't feel like it's very fluid in the timing of it. It kind of feels like it's kind of, we get sporadic news hits of it. But I see some of them going into isolation and resigning. So financial loss. I almost wonder if some of them, the IRS comes after some of them, or it feels like there were some laws broken, maybe DOJ. But like I said, it feels like it's not something happening overnight. I feel like we're going to get a lot of information out before the election, but it feels like it continues after the election as well. But I feel Thomas leaving soon. To me, it feels like around the time of the election, so either right before or right after. All right, you guys. Someone asked, I answered that already. All right. Sorry, you guys, a little behind in the chat. How long can Alito last? I'm saying the number 3. So he might be in there for a couple more years is what I'm kind of picking up, unfortunately, Rich. Doesn't feel like it's 3 months, and it doesn't feel like he's out in March. I see Cannon being removed, and to me it feels like in the next couple months, Earth Mama, August. Maybe it's brought up in July, she's removed August, maybe September. Let's take a look at this. I read on it before, and I felt it was going to be very close. I feel like if the election were today, Rick Scott would probably win, Robin, and I feel like he has the edge on the race as of right now. But I feel like there's still hope with Debbie's run. But let's take a look. I don't see Obama in the Supreme Court, Kathy. I think he would be a great Chief Justice, but I just don't see it. Michelle would have a fit if he got back into politics, or I think she very much, likes kind of the private life now. All right, Debbie Murkowski. I'm probably saying that wrong. I feel like she's an excellent communicator. Women really like her. It feels like it's really close. The government or teacher kind of representing her right now. She does need some donations. It's like trying to balance the financing for the campaign. So she would be one to give money for. Yeah, I have the Three of Cups at the bottom, and then the Empress. So women really enjoying her, and she feels like she's a tough cookie. She's a Nine of Wands, so it's a bit of a battle. It's a long fought battle. She's a bit tired and fatigued, but she continues to push through. She's very strong. I almost wonder, though, you have the Justice card coming in, so I don't know if there's some legal challenge to the votes. This could also be a card of like trying to find balance, but I kind of feel like she could win it. But we know Florida specifically that they don't play fair in their elections, and I'm going to be careful with as much as I get into that because I have to be on YouTube. But I almost feel like it's not the most secure election in Florida. It feels like it's very close. So she could definitely use some money um, so that she can, continue to push herself out there because I feel like it's going to be very close. My guides had told me that Democrats would lose one seat, and I feel like the West Virginia seat, Manchin seat, I feel like it's going to go to the Republicans. But they told me that Democrats could flip 2 to 4 Republican seats this year. And to me, my radar, it's Texas, Ted Cruz's seat. I feel like that could very well go blue. Actually, I feel like it's going to go blue. I feel like Gloria Johnson could beat Blackburn in Tennessee. Missouri with Josh Hawley's seat, he could lose. And I think this one is the other competitive one. So I feel like Democrats will win at least 2 of those races, but possibly all 4. So, so yeah, those are the races to definitely send some money for. All right. Oh, I didn't hear Putin's Moscow home burned down. I haven't heard that. Interesting. No, Judge Mershon would be great on SCOTUS. I don't see that though. I mean, can you imagine though if Democrats nominated somebody that was against Trump? I mean, it would look very political. So I don't see them picking him, although I think he would be great. Yeah, I think Michelle Obama would be great on the Supreme Court or as president too. I just don't see her wanting to do that. And yeah, I did see that her mother just passed away. Yeah. But Michelle is she does press, she does the book stuff, speeches, and she's still active, but she very much likes the private life too. I don't see her ever running for anything where um, she gets a lot of that press and attention 24/7. She's over it. Although I think she'd be great. All right. We got so many people watching, almost 900. I'm trying to keep up with you all. All right. Yes, I did say I feel Democrats retaking the House and the Senate. I was talking about the Senate. That's crazy. Let's take a look at Putin's palace burned. I hadn't heard that. I almost feel like there was some foul play involved with that. Somebody's saying it was Putin's Siberian palace that burned. Can somebody in the chat clear that up? Or send me some of the information I hadn't heard about that. Two stories on fire in Russia in 5 days. Huge warehouse near Putin's Moscow residence caught on fire, and Putin's residence in Siberia caught fire. Interesting. If you've been following me for a while, I told you there's an uprising that's going to be starting in Russia, and it feels like it's this year. I feel them throwing Putin out of power if the health even keeps him here that long. If it's not this year, it's next year, but it's happening soon. And I always get a woman around Putin and his demise, or possibly a woman poisoning him or taking him out. But here's the Empress kind of coming in, and it feels like it might be connected to the family around him. Yeah, his luck's about out. It's like he's trying to hang on so tightly, but he knows that he's anxious of the ending coming in for him. To me, it almost feels like it was a younger energy that, to me, it feels more like the Siberian house. But very interesting that two of his residents are, maybe not both of them, but near both of them caught on fire. Yeah. I don't see Putin being around too long. And I know I've said that for a while, but timing's not always the easiest to predict. But I see him leaving soon. There's definitely been body doubles. I don't feel like he's left the planet just yet, Martha. But I definitely get that he has a couple different body doubles because he's sick. Yeah, I already touched up on the Hunter Biden trial. I don't really see this case turning into anything significant. I feel more on the tax cases where it doesn't feel like jail time, but maybe some probation. But it's obviously politically motivated. I actually don't feel like I think the jury's going to feel that way too. I don't know if it's the jury that recommends sentencing or the charges. They might charge him, but it feels like it doesn't result in any jail time for this case. It's kind of like the gun case feels like it's a bit of like not a big deal. All right. What do you see happening with Maryland's Republican Governor Larry Hogan's reelection? Yeah, the Republicans are not very happy with him because he said that that we should all respect the results from that trial. Good for him. I very much feel like the Republican Party, if you follow me, I've said it's going to implode, fracture, and I feel like some sanity coming to the Republican Party and them rebuilding and rebranding once Trump isn't on the ticket. It feels like Liz Cheney kind of taking over the party. But I almost feel like Larry Hogan and Adam Kissinger being instrumental in creating this new Republican Party. I felt like it would be close in the Senate race, but I felt like Angela, I don't remember her last name, is going to win the Maryland Senate race. He's got a bit of an advantage because he is so known in the state, and I think he has like a lot of money on the side for his campaign. But I see people really liking Angela. And I remember that I predicted that she was going to win the primary. Also Brooks. Thank you, Beth. All right, what's going on with Larry Hogan? Yeah, he's trapped. He's got some money though, but he's very much conflicted on what direction to go into. But I see him standing up and fighting for his truth. To me, it feels like, against the MAGAs. But he's a bit trapped. I think that restricts his reelection, well, his election's chances. It's almost like he's a bit defeated. Then the party changes and it's a rebirth, and then hope and wishes come true. So I don't think that this is the end for him in politics, but I feel like this may cost him that race because I feel like it would be a bit close. I don't know if they're going to make Trump take a drug test before he's sentenced, Kathy. I don't know how that all works. Let me ask the pendulum, but I almost feel like they're not going to drug test him before sentencing for whatever reason. All right, we're just going to ask the pendulum. Can you tell me, will they drug test Donald Trump before his sentencing in the New York trial? I'm getting a no, for whatever reason. I know what you're all saying. They take a drug test and do a mental eval. I almost feel like they're not doing that with him. As soon as I read it, I felt like, no, he wasn't going to. I could be wrong, who knows, but it wouldn't be the first time Trump's got special treatment, so. Let's ask if they'll make him do a psychiatric test. I don't know. For whatever reason, though, I'm not feeling him taking a drug test. Will Donald Trump have to take a psychiatric test before he's sentenced in the New York case? See, I feel, yeah, maybe. Yes. It's kind of like a very small yes. I always felt like he might use his cognitive decline as an excuse if he's that desperate to avoid any jail time. I feel more towards the mental test, but not a drug test, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe it's probation, and I've said that that's a strong possibility. I don't feel him going to jail, or maybe it's house arrest, but I don't see him in a prison. All right. And well, maybe if he has a probation officer too, maybe they would make him do a drug test. But it doesn't feel like it's before the sentencing. When you ask specifically if he has to pee in a cup. Okay, I will see. But I instantly, when I read the question, I felt no, and the pendulum said no. All right. Well, will Donald Trump have to pee in a cup for a drug test before sentencing for the New York case? I'm getting a no. No. But it does feel like he has to do some kind of psychiatric test. Maybe it's just like maybe it's a comprehensive test. I don't know all the rules with it, but I don't know. The drug test didn't resonate with me at all. I could be wrong, but wasn't feeling it. All right. Will Donald Trump show up at the June debate? I almost feel like no, he'll make excuses for it. If he does do a debate and doesn't feel like it's totally decided just yet, it would be just the June debate. I do not see two debates happening. Yeah, he would substitute someone else's pee. That could be it. I don't see him, but I feel more likely than not, no. And I feel like those around him know that he can't debate either. No, I don't think so. Ooh, no. It's like he's out in the cold. He's kind of lost. I feel like um, those partnerships around him. This is him walking away, um, heading in a bit of direction. This is also a bad health card too. It's like he's kind of trapped in his mind. I see a bit of a fight, but it doesn't feel like it's a debate. And then, like the tower coming in, there's an implosion. So it almost feels like he's focused on other things in the debate. I told you, um, getting up to the convention and the sentencing, I guess, is a couple of days before the RNC. Um, it just feels like chaos. But I don't think so. If he does debate, it will be just the one June debate. But if I were to bet on it, I would say no. I don't see him debating. I read on this before, Sarah Huckabee's and her lectern. I do feel like they're still investigating it, but I never felt her going to jail or having to step down because of it. Let's take a look at her. I haven't read on her in a while. Ooh, and Trump's birthday is June 14th. Yeah, I don't feel. Well, I was thinking July 14th. I think is the convention. Yeah, it doesn't feel like he's going to have a very happy birthday. Sorry. Yeah, I don't see him. I don't think he's going to debate. They're still investigating it. But it's like it's very slow. She's kind of coming in strong, and honestly, she might get away with it because of her family ties. I believe her father was governor before, but it feels like because of her family ties, it kind of saves her. I mean, I feel like there's a bit of a journey with it, but I see her getting through it. Maybe it's a judge that knows her family, but it feels like she's got strong family ties in that state. But I still see them investigating it. Yes. Will Alaska's Lisa Murkowski vote against the Republicans and Rump, as she has stated? I do not see her voting for Donald Trump. Absolutely not, Hilda. I actually feel like very strongly before the election or just after, I feel her becoming an independent. And I feel like she could still win the state as an independent. Oh, wow. Almost have 1,100. Thank you, guys. Please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you'd like a reading or a Reiki session, you can check out my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. I have some openings in June. I might have one next week. I might have one opening next week, but if not, I believe the following week I have openings. Do you see any help or good news for voters affected by all the unfair voter suppression laws and gerrymandered maps before the election? I don't really see. I see them addressing it after the election. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, but unfortunately, I'm not feeling a lot. It's too close to the election for them to redraw maps. I feel like there's a couple. I think, and we've seen it. There's a couple states that um, have taken up to the Supreme Court, and they said that they had to redraw maps. I don't know if they've actually done it or not. I feel like there might be one or two states that have to kind of redistrict and redraw maps so they're more fair. But I see like the voting rights bill um, and federal legislation coming in to address, all the gerrymandered maps. And it feels like Biden's second term, 2025, 2026, somewhere in there. All right. Will Jack Smith make a new indictment regarding possible documents at Bedminster? I don't know if it has to do with Bedminster, Colleen, but I do feel Jack Smith making more indictments on Donald Trump. And we still have more indictments coming out with January 6th. I did just say I felt like there was going to be more charges with the election in Wisconsin just did charges. I remember for like Kenneth Trustborough. I don't know the other two that got charges, but a lot of these states are really kind of ramping up these charges. I feel like they all have, except for the major battleground state, except for I don't think Michigan has yet, and Pennsylvania. But all the other major states, I think they have. Kind of crazy, right? All right, Jack Smith. Let's just take a look at Jack Smith. If there's any more indictments coming on, what's energy around Jack Smith? Yeah, this is my card for Jack Smith too. He's this Knight of Swords. Now, he's not in the sense of that he's impulsive, because we know he's not, but he's very strategic and he's very ruthless. I would not want Jack Smith as a foe. Yeah, he comes in strong. He's got a strong foundation. Four of Wands. There's celebration happening for Jack Smith. More indictments coming out. He's a bit upset with, I think, the Florida case and things being delayed right now. There's a little bit of a grief there. But it's all going to be okay. Even though he's had some setbacks, his wishes are fulfilled. Wheel of Fortune coming in, so good luck. It's about to, the energy's about to shift. Oh yeah, and more indictments coming for sure around the family, those that have supported the insurrection. He's still kind of negotiating, getting all the ducks in a row for that, but he's going to be successful. I do feel like there's more information, more indictments coming. Oh, thank you, Casey. I don't feel it, Barbara. They're all threatening it. I don't want you guys to worry. I know it's hard not to worry, but spend your time and energy focusing and manifesting a Joe Biden win and a win for Democrats and peace. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I know everybody's freaked out. We got a while before the election still. We got to just kind of breathe, make sure that we're grounding, not allowing all of the craziness to get us angry or in a fearful space, and have it affect our energy levels, lower our vibrational levels. We got to kind of rise above that, keep the faith. Even if it's not going to always be all wins or always good news, there's delays, that kind of things that's frustrating. But just hold the faith, speak your truth, but don't allow the fear to overtake you, to consume you. I don't see an insurrection. I don't see civil war. I see some people pissed off and maybe some small incidences, but I don't see. I mean, Trump's not even getting the crowds that he used to. So I think most of the insurrectionists are locked up, or those that would actually do that or locked up or, being investigated right now. So on the immunity case, I did feel like some disappointment there, Robin. I don't think that they're going to say he has presidential immunity, he can do whatever. But I do feel them kind of throwing it back. But I don't know how it all plays out. I'm not sure you know, of how it would play out because I'm not really knowledgeable and of how that would work. But um, I still feel another case happening before the election, and I think it's the DC case, or at least it's starting before the election. Now, if so, maybe there's good news with it, but I kind of feel like them showing their ass. Thomas and Alito should have to recuse himself. I don't see them doing that. Roberts said he's not going to Congress or the Senate to talk about it. So I don't see them. I kind of feel like they're firmly like, no, we're not going to do the ethical thing here. All right, you guys. I'm probably only going to do one or two more questions. We're almost at that hour mark. Yeah, I'm not feeling violence though. Like I said, I feel like there's some isolated incidents. But I don't see all of MAGA coming together and trying to overthrow the government again, or you know, um, causing civil war. I don't feel it. If I felt it, I would tell you, but I don't. I can't make predictions on what other people are saying. I can only share with you what I'm picking up. I think some people are clearly biased. Some people maybe aren't tapping into the the most uplifted energy too. But I can't speak on other readers or astrologers of what they're predicting. I can only share with you what I'm picking up. I would say take information that resonates with you and leave what doesn't. If what I and a lot of like-minded readers are saying really resonate as truth for you, I would take that. If you like a lot of the conspiracy theorists or MAGA psychics or astrologers, I mean, they have that content for you too. So I don't see Mark Robinson winning in North Carolina. And I did say I felt like Biden was going to keep all the states that he won in 2020. Maybe not Georgia. Georgia feels like it's a little bit iffy to me, but I think Biden and Democrats have a really good shot of taking North Carolina because Mark Robinson's on the ballot for governor. Let's take a look. I don't see them electing. Robinson's just so crazy and out there. Right. The same psychic says 45 would be found not guilty. And there's been plenty of times where, I've felt that, a Democrat was going to get in trouble or bad news for Democrats. And I keep it real with you when I feel like, a Democrat's probably not going to win, even if it's disappointing news. I say it how I feel. I try, obviously, there's a side that I lean towards, but I really try to not allow my own bias to affect my readings. I really try to go in a neutral space. All right, Josh Stein. Is Josh Stein going to win the governor race in North Carolina? Josh Stein feels very tough too. Is his wife? If he's married, is there? I feel like there's a prominent female helping to guide the campaign. This could be female coming out too, because I know that Mark Robinson has said some pretty crazy things about abortion, and I think even like gays and gay marriage and all of that. Yeah, again, women coming out supporting him. He's got the Emperor, which is hanging on the control, that leadership. Queen of Swords coming out, smart, intelligent women, making sure that he's successful with his race. And I feel like he's very strong. Like he's going to push back on Mark Robinson and really hit him hard. And I think his campaign does well with the money too. It's a little bit of a tough battle. He's a bit tired, but he's going to be successful there. I feel like from what I saw of Garland's testimony in Congress today, I didn't watch all of it, but I felt like he did very good. I've said for a while, if you followed me, I don't feel Garland being AG and Biden's second term. I think I've said that since I've started my channel. I almost feel like the person under him, Lisa Monaco, I feel like she may be the next attorney general. I've had a lot of people ask if Jack Smith will be AG. I don't see him liking the public positions. Oh, he wants to do away with women voting. Yeah, he's a moron. Yeah, like I see women coming out in droves to make sure that he's not their governor. But I don't see Jack Smith as attorney general. I feel like a woman coming in. But let's ask this. Since North Carolina doesn't go with Mark Robinson, does that make North Carolina in play for Joe Biden in the election? Because I don't see a lot of people voting for Josh Stein and voting for Donald Trump. Is Biden going to win North Carolina in the 2024 presidential election? I'm just going to throw one or two cards. Yeah, he's too extreme for even some MAGA, yeah. All right, Joe Biden. You're going to win the state of North Carolina in 2024. I haven't heard of them really campaigning in there. I get yes. It's kind of like we're waiting and seeing what the results are. I think a lot of people are going to be going within and thinking their options, but there's like a coalition coming in support to build up that campaign in North Carolina. Yeah, Joe Biden's got strength there. It's kind of slow and steady progress, so I don't think it's going to be a landslide, but he's got the win. People make a deal with him. So, see, I feel good about Joe Biden in North Carolina. Like I said, I feel like the only state that might go red that went blue might be Georgia. And I don't know if Texas votes for him, but I feel Texas definitely shifting more blue because I feel like Ted Cruz is going to lose his seat. Colin Allred, is that who he's running against? I feel like he's going to win. All right, you guys. I think I'm going to end it there for today, but thank you all so much for stopping by. I think this is a record for a solo show. I think we had close to 1,100 people watching, so thank you all for that. I really appreciate that. Again, just some shows coming up. I'll be on Mel Doors. Well, I think I'll probably stream it to my channel this Thursday, but we have a show this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Next Monday, June 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern will be my members live stream, and I'll be doing my Reiki healing circle for the group and our prayer circle, and it's going to be a little bit different. I'm doing a holy fire healing experience, which is my first time conducting one of those, so I'm kind of excited to share that. It was a really cool experience when I did it for my Holy Fire Corona Masterclass. So I'm excited to do that. And Susan Lynn will be on next next Wednesday. I'll have my show next Tuesday. So a lot of shows coming up. So um, again, if you'd like a reading, Reiki session, I have a healing and guidance package, which is a combination of both a 30-minute reading and a Reiki session. Um, I have openings for June, so go to my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. And I think that's it for today, you guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see y'all real soon. Breathe. We're going to get through it. Take care. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.